Hello, this is Emmeline. For Sprint6, I've been kind of losing my voice all week, so I'll try to speak as loudly as I can. Let's start with these documents. So here's my game planning document with a general overview, a specific overview of my shader manager, and a specific overview of my light system. Those can be found in the Perforce folder right under my name in game project documents. And there's also the game document, which has a detailed layout, a more general overview, and a more detailed code overview for each of the 3 levels I plan to build. Let's start with the terrain assignment for this week. So this one thing I wasn't sure about in my terrain collision. Every time there's a new collidable group make, I have the collidable group have a collision test terrain command. I didn't know if the user should be able to specifically register items for a terrain. I didn't know how you want us to do that, and if that should be a different callback. But that's an easy change. And then I have my terrain manager, which is all the stuff you'd expect. I have my terrain rectangle area, which holds 2 iterators, one for the beginning, one for the end. And then it gets those through certain cells, and then I have the actual iterator, which iterators over a certain set of cells, and then my actual test command, which does, so all the tests are in here, but it gets the area from the terrain, in the terrain test. And then for my personal project for this week, I have done the first pass of my shader system. So now a graphics object, when you can submit to render, let me click on this, and you have to pass in its shader, and it will submit this to the shader to render, and it will push it back into the to render, and then when render is called on it by the shader manager every frame, it renders all of the objects inside of that. I'm running into one error or one bug right now with my visualizer, since my visualizer since my shader system stores pointers to graphics objects and not copies of the graphics objects, and my visualizer uses the same 2 graphics objects for all the visualization, it doesn't store the set and color, it just takes the last one and uses it. So I'm thinking around that right now, because right now it's just an issue in my visualizer, but I can see a case where a user would want to reuse the same graphics object for multiple items. So let me go ahead and run this, and then I'll run my terrain, and then we can be done for this video. So here's this. You can see the issue I was talking about, the visualizer where it only renders the last model. I've noticed a slight uptick in frames, but also my computer gets really irregular frame rate, and I'm also only rendering a few things on screen. So we'll see once I get more stuff going if the shader manager really makes a difference. And now for my terrain stuff, let me show this to you too. So the visualization for this looks just like last week, except for now if we come over here, and if I come into the Solution Explorer and go down to, let's say, tank, and I put a breakpoint here. Now when I collide with the terrain over here, we'll receive a callback, and that is through the test that's inside the command test. And then when we actually collide with the terrain, we get that callback. Yeah, and you can see things turned red because there's actual collision. And that's all for me for this video.